everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Successful Woman's Mindset. My name is Galit Ventura-Rozen. I am so excited to have another fabulous author from the book collaboration, The Successful Woman's Mindset, 21 Journeys to Success. Today we have Linda. Welcome, Linda.
Hi, welcome. Thank you so much for having me. I am so honored to be a part of this amazing group of women.
I'm excited to get started for so many reasons, which I know we're going to be able to share today. But more than anything, I want to share with everybody that Linda Perez is the CEO of the Shade Tree in Las Vegas, excuse me, in Las Vegas. And we'll be sharing a little bit with you about what the Shade Tree is as well, because if you're in Las Vegas, you already know. But before we do that, let's go ahead and jump into the first question. I love to ask all the authors, what does the phrase, the successful woman's mindset, mean to you?
Well, the successful women's mindset means to me so many different things. And just thinking about that and knowing what my journey is, I'm so excited to read this book and everyone else's journey to success and tips. I think we always should be finding new ways how to better ourselves. What it means to me is really what is important to you. What success is defined by different people in many different ways. Success to one person might be their career. It might be raising healthy, strong, successful children. So every success is different to women. For me, it just means being empowered. For my journey, it means having a relationship with myself, learning what my purpose is, and then giving that back to the world. So for me, that's what success is to me. Making my family proud and just being able to be a pillar in the community and give back and be a role model to other women and to the young ladies coming up behind us.
Oh, I love that. And I have to tell you, some of the words you used at the beginning, Linda, are exactly the way that I define it. We define it very, very similarly, and I love that. I also love that you use the words empower. I think that an empowered woman, and also made it very clear that our success may not be your success. So, for example, if Jill is successful in one way, and then let's say Kim isn't, but she looks at Jill and she says, well, oh my God, she's so successful. And then she reaches for that, but then she's not happy.
Right.
And sometimes people look at other people's success and think, I need that, not realizing it's their own definition. What suggestion would you give anybody listening or watching to define their own definition of success?
Well, I think that first of all, I think we all forget the power that we possess as women. Um, from our eyes have the ability to seduce. Our voices have the ability to captivate nations and large audiences. We're strong enough to lead, and yet we're gentle enough to nurture and be a mom and be all of that. So I think it's important.
You can say it, women rock.
Women rock. Yes, we do.
Our audience are women, our authors are women. We can say that.
We are amazing human beings. And I think we forget even how beautiful our minds are. One thing that I would say to people, giving just a tip or advice, is to never attach yourself to a person or a company or an organization or a project. Attach yourself to a mission, to a purpose. By doing that, you're always going to have peace in your heart, and you're always going to be able to just love everything about you and what you do. So I think that's very important to just realize the power that we have within and own that and use it and nurture it and always make it better and stronger. As women, it doesn't matter how high we get up on the totem pole, right? We're always having to find ways to better ourselves, to learn, and to always give back.
I love the way that you said that. Attach yourself to a mission, not to an organization, a company, a profession, a mission. Because mission for us, for women like us, equals purpose.
Yes. Yeah.
I want to jump in for a minute before we go to the next question. So I want people to know what the Shade Tree is. I have a personal connection to Shade Tree because I've been involved now for over 11 years myself. It's quite funny because people think I work for Shade Tree. I get messages all the time with like questions about someone they might know that's going through domestic abuse or someone that needs a place to stay. And of course, I always respond. I don't say I don't work for you guys, but my personal connection has allowed me to personally know these CEOs of the company before you, and of course is you, which is a very neat thing for me.
Right.
So I'm able to call you a friend, which is so exciting. So Linda, will you tell everybody what the Shade Tree is? Because if they're not in Vegas, they probably don't know.
Yes. So, you know, I know that people should never define themselves by their work. However, for me, my work is not work. It is absolutely my passion. And you'll be able to read about that in the chapter, just a little bit about me. But we are the largest shelter of our kind in the state of Nevada. Our clients are domestic violence, human trafficking, sex trafficking, and homeless women, children. And we have a partnership with Noah's Animal House, so we're able to house pets as well. Why that's important to someone fleeing a violent situation, many times families will not leave, women will not leave because of their pets. Our pets are like our children. You know that, I know that, right?
I have a toddler
So,
running outside that's 8 months old with
yeah,
4 legs.
that's right. I left my baby this morning. She was all comfy and cozy. But that's very important. And who would have thought that when I was a little girl, I didn't think of being the CEO of a domestic violence shelter. I would have never thought what that was. But that's what the Shade Tree is. And it's not work to me. It is my passion. It is my purpose. I get to use my voice with my clients in the community to bring awareness to this huge issue in our families, in our communities. And I feel so grateful and privileged that I have this platform that through my faith, through my, that God has placed me here and given me this purpose and this platform to use my voice, to inspire, to bring awareness, and to help other women and other families transform their lives.
And I think that is a perfect segue into your chapter. Perfect.
Thank you. Thank you.
Because next we're going to talk about why this chapter and why this title. And your chapter title is Don't Be Ashamed of the Story. It will inspire others. So we don't want to give away all the goodies because your chapter is so amazing and people are going to love reading it. And it's for anyone that wants to be inspired. You don't have to have gone through a difficult situation or a domestic violence situation or anything traumatic in your life to really just read it and be inspired. So share with us, Linda, why this chapter, why this story?
You know, it has been on my heart for a long, very, very long time is how do I bring more awareness? How do I relate to other women? How do I show them that it doesn't matter where you've come from, where you've been, there's always hope. And it doesn't matter if you start at 20 years old, if you're starting over at 40 or 50 or whatever, there's always hope. And I love girlfriend time, right? Because you sit around with your girlfriends and other women and you learn so much, whether they're at home raising kids or they're a businesswoman, a successful businesswoman in the career in a business world. It doesn't matter. Every single woman has a story to share, whether it's about their kids or their marriage or their family or anything, or is it about success in an organization? So I believe that it has always been on my heart. I'm just a little girl at heart still, little Mexican girl that grew up in Northwest Indiana, the Chicagoland area. And who would have thought that I would be the CEO of an organization today? I just believe that every woman has a story to share. Somebody needs to hear it.
Yes.
Somebody will be inspired about it, and it may change someone else's life. So it doesn't matter what it is you have to share. You're important and you're valued and you're worthy. Someone needs to hear your story.
You say it so well. When we're little, we think we know what we want to be when we grow up. And many of us are what we say because we have this path. And my kid is like that. She's always known since she was 7 years old, something to do with medical, right? And first it was a vet, and then it was a pediatric surgeon, and then now it's an RN. She's
I
so,
love it.
so we're getting closer.
That's awesome.
But some of us are kind of get the path drawn for us, right? I try not to do that with my kids. And we follow the path that seems most logical. And then we wake up one day and say, wait, I want to do more.
Yes.
And so Linda is one of those people.
Yeah.
And she picked a very challenging job. Being of any nonprofit is not easy. I've been involved in nonprofits my entire life. And I have to tell you, and I commend you, because it is a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week job. There are no hours. I'm very familiar because I thought that was my path. And then I realized it wasn't. My path was to support the organizations and to help any way I could. But what I love more than anything with you and your story is that you really implement your past experiences and how they somehow correlate and directly relate to, oh gosh, I could have been one of the women in this shelter. And now I'm the woman that is showing these women that they can have hope and giving them the tools, the resources, the roof over their head. You know, Linda, sometimes we take so much advantage of the things that we have that are so simple, like a roof over our heads. And you've done such a great job with Chi-Chi, and I'm excited to be watching you since day one.
I know you have been a huge support to us, Galit. You're a huge support to all women, but really, I was really blessed to know that you were already a part of this organization and everything that you do, not just for us, but the entire community. So I was really blessed to meet you and to have you be a supporter of us, but not just through the Shade Tree, a supporter of me as a woman and as a leader. And I appreciate you for that.
I appreciate you too. And we're just going to have a love fest.
Yes, exactly.
Have a love fest. One of the reasons that I was so excited about putting together this book was because it was about women like you. Women that don't have the time to go write an entire book right now. Yes, you should, and you will. Yeah. You don't have the time. And so, and you're, by the way, you're like all the other authors too. It's not a bad thing, but to give you a platform to speak, right? Interviews, to speak on stage, hopefully, if not virtually, and to be able to write your story was the key to this book. And I think that anybody listening or watching, Linda said, one person needs to be inspired or impacted to make a different decision based on her chapter. That is the utmost motivation and goal of every author that's part of this book. Because some of the women have shared stories, and not all of them are about things in the past. Some are business stories, some are motivational stories, some are traumatic stories. They're not all the same, but some of my authors literally after they wrote the chapter had to take off a week because it was so emotional to go back and revisit. But it was so important to do that because they know that they can now impact somebody by sharing what they've gone through. Yes. So I would love for us to end with something fun or interesting about yourself that people might not know or that you want to share.
You know, something that people probably don't know. Well, the closest people in my life do, but I think people would probably be surprised that I am absolutely fascinated with true crime. I have been following true crime since I was a very little girl. And I think my dad being a police officer probably had something to do with that. Yeah, but I became so fascinated with it. And it's something that I still do. If I have a day where I could just relax and catch up on stuff, I'm watching the ID channel all day. Yeah, so yeah, that is, you know, I fight violence, right? I bring awareness to what we do, but I'm so fascinated. And honestly, it just intrigues me how people think and I really think that it almost helps me in my career and in dealing with people to understand humans and their relationships and how they think and how they move. But I'm a true fan of true crime.
Linda, we have another author like that. And that's really shared as our interesting characteristic. So I'm
Mhm.
going to have to let you know. I think it was Ariel. I'm almost positive, but I'll let
Okay.
you know. She said the same thing. She's fast, but she likes to watch, is the ID channel where they have all those detective shows and stuff?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
cool.
Hmm.
So she's fascinated with the way the mind works.
Yes.
And I think it makes sense to me because it's not that we're interested, you guys are interested in the actual stories and what the people are doing. It's how are their brain working? How
Yes.
is their brain, their
Mhm.
thought process? What is it thinking? And I can see it. My boyfriend was obsessed with Dexter.
Oh, yes. I actually just started watching that series.
He's seen
I
it. He's seen the entire series twice.
really, yeah,
Yeah,
I was like pretty fascinated with him too. Like I'm in it right now,
yeah.
because,
People loved that show. So for me, I
yeah.
am one of those people that when I watch TV, which isn't a lot, but I like my me time. It's usually dramas.
Yeah, I think
I don't know
during the
why, because I don't like drama, but I love it on TV.
right, and I think it's been an escape because right, who would have thought we would be in a pandemic right now? So COVID and the lockdown and everything. I got to watch a lot of Netflix series. So, Dexter is on my list right now that I'm watching.
Oh, good. Well, good. Enjoy. Linda, if anybody wants to learn more about Shade Tree
Mhm,
or connect with you to be part of the organization to help
mhm.
anything, what's the best place to send them?
I do have my social media outlets, and on Facebook, I'm Linda C. Perez is my profile name, but it's Linda Christine Perez. On my Instagram, it is Linda Christine 272, and on my LinkedIn, it's also Linda Christine Perez. I I love connecting with people, especially women, and I'm just a simple girl, just a normal, simple girl. There is nothing that is extraordinarily different about me than any other woman next to me. And I love connecting with women and just learning from each other and giving each other tips and ideas on navigating through this thing we call life. And it's not always easy. So I would love to connect with more women.
Perfect. And all your information will be on the website.
Great.
Your information will also be in the book at the start of your chapter. And you guys can learn more about the Shade Tree as well. I think, is it the shadetree.org?
Yes, it is the shadetree.org. I apologize, but yes, that is the
Yeah,
website
I always
for.
forget about if it's com or org, but you can connect with Linda because she right now is the Shade Tree. So it's
Yes,
the same thing if you connect
yes,
with
the same
Linda.
thing.
But thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for being part of this book. Thank you for everything you do. You know how much I love my city. I've been here now for over 32, 33 years. I lost track and it's really my home. And I love that you've made it your home because of Shade Tree.
Yes.
Yeah. So thanks for being a part of this and for joining me today. And everybody, thank you for listening and watching The Successful Woman's Mindset. My name is Galit Ventura-Rozen. And make sure to check out the book at thesuccessfulwomansmindset.com or on Amazon or any online retailer. It is called The Successful Woman's Mindset, 21 Journeys to Success. Until next time, bye.
I thank you.